Hey Max Impactors, today I'm going to show you one of my favorite things, making cultured butter. I really love cultured butter because unlike store-bought, it's much more creamier and tastes a lot better. But most people have never had cultured butter because it's not something that you come across a lot in the stores. So I'm going to show you how to make it here at home. To start out this cultured butter, I'm going to just take 3 of these ice cubes. And these buttermilk ice cubes that I made, I'm going to put in the description the culture that I use, and then I basically just took regular milk, sterilized the milk, and then I made it into buttermilk, and then I poured it into these trays. And then I freeze these and I keep them in my freezer. Now, this part is done. Basically, I have my cream and my 3 cubes of buttermilk, and we're going to let this sit for about 3 days. Here we are 3 days later, and the culturing is done. Let me show you the culture so you know what it should look like at this point. Our cream is cultured, and there's 3 things I look for. So here's the first thing is what you want to see is a little bit of separation. So you'll see down here at the bottom there's a line where there's some separation. This is the cream, all right, that we have cultured. And the second thing is I like to take it, and if you look at it really closely here, you can see that it's really thick. What this technically is, with this culture and cream, this is actually sour cream. So if I would smell it, it smells like sour cream too, and that's the third thing that you need. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this culture and I'm going to process it into butter. One of the best parts about making this cultured butter is the culturing actually shortens your process time because the culturing does some of the work for you. So whether you're doing the jar shake method or you're going to use a blender or you're going to use a butter churn, you're going to see it turn into butter a lot quicker than if you started from raw cream. Once you're done processing, this is what it looks like right here. So you have the butter, and this is buttermilk. And what I do, by the way, it only took about 5 minutes in my mixer to separate this. Then what you're going to do is I kind of push it into like a little ball like this. Try to squeeze out as much of the buttermilk as I can. And then what I do is I have a jar and I keep my buttermilk. I love to use the buttermilk for making bread. Instead of the milk component in bread, I use the buttermilk. So now that I poured out the buttermilk, what you're going to do is you're going to wash the butter, and I just get some cold water. Make sure it's cold because you don't want to melt the butter. And then you get it in here, and then I just kind of press it up against the side. Try to get as much of the buttermilk out as I can. Wow, look at this. Look at how nice and yellow that is compared to store-bought. That's because I used the raw milk cream, and then I kind of push it into a ball like this, and then I use the spatula to hold it, dump it out, and then you're just going to do this a bunch of times until the water stays clear. This looks like the last rinse. If you look at the water, it doesn't look like there's any more buttermilk coming out when I squish this around. So we're going to dump this out. Then I just kind of, in the bowl, I just squeeze it a little bit more. Try to get all the water out that I can. You could just keep the butter like this, plain, but I'm going to put a little bit of salt in it, so I'm just going to take a pinch of salt and a couple pinches. You can taste it too to make sure that it has the right salt level. I just go by taste. And then you're going to mix it in, that off. This washing process is really important. And the reason why it's really important is if you don't get all the buttermilk out, then the buttermilk can become rancid. Now we need to solidify it a little bit. So what I do for this portion is you just have to take it and put it in your refrigerator for like 5 to 10 minutes. We got our butter out of the refrigerator, and what you want it to be is it should be hard enough that it will be able to mold, but not so hard that it's hard to mold. And you can always take, oh, here are my butter paddles. So these are great because we're going to make a stick of butter today. And then you can get it down here. And just kind of go this way. Get it totally flat. There you go. And there's my stick. So what you can do with this is you can put it in the refrigerator, wrap it into some wax paper and put it in the refrigerator, harden it the rest of the way up, and you're done. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video making cultured butter. Not only is this a great way to use some of the cream off of raw milk, but say you have a recipe or something that uses heavy cream, and a lot of times when you do it, you only use part of the container. I like to automatically go to make that into this cultured butter, which means that you don't waste any of it. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to our channel, smash that like button, and we'll see you in the next video.